Hi everybody, it is May 16th and I'm finally getting to that stage where I'm planting. First I want to show you what I have going on so far. So if you've been watching my channel and my previous videos, you know that I had wood raised beds here, a wood raised bed here and one over here. As you can see, I switched it over to cinder block because, with wood raised beds you have to, change them out because the beds will deteriorate because of the wood and the weather, and it was just not good. So I wanted to switch it out. And also the cinder block with the red brick underneath I find to be a little bit more appealing. So over here we have herbs. We have what I like to call my cilantro bin because I'm in a Hispanic family and cilantro is the herb of, Hispanic people. That's their herb. Over here we have an assortment of herbs here, and I could honestly tell you what they were. I didn't label the cinder blocks at all to find out. I know that they're pairings, so this is one herb, this is one herb, this is one herb. I can tell you this is chives here. It's pretty much all I can tell you. Once it grows out, then I'll know what it is. This one does not have any herbs in it. And none of my beds have anything in it as well, except for some lavender here in the middle. Then we have this bed that I did mainly for my sister because she's really into growing herbs. There's the lavender. There's this plant. I forgot what the name of it is, but it is like hearts, little hearts. And I thought it was pretty. And then she planted bulbs in here as well. She did herbs. I couldn't tell you what herbs she put in here, but she did do herbs. Talking really fast just because the weather is not ideal for growing and for transplanting, and it's starting to rain, so I'm kind of moving this along. In here we have the things that I bought. Typically I go to Walmart and I buy the Bonnie plants, and I do some intense treatment on them because they don't feed them, they just water them, and they tend to not look so great while they're growing. So I decided to go to my local garden center. That's also where I bought my compost, which is what's filling my beds. And they had it, I bought 3.5 yards of it, and they dumped it in my driveway, and I had plenty. I even had leftover that I filled up this bucket and that bucket, and I've actually been using that bucket for everything that I've transplanted thus far to top off the soil. In this bucket I am going to put I'm actually going to put lettuce in here. It is a Paris Island Cos. This is going to go into this bucket. And then I also have some kale here that I am going to grow in the cinder block to see how it will work. So I'm going to pick a couple of these cinder blocks. I'll probably do 2. There's 6 of him in here. I'll probably do 3 per bed and just see how it works. I have some bell, a sweet pepper. They're a green bell, but if you keep them on the vine longer, they'll actually change color. That is going in this bed here. We also have some Thai hot pepper as well. I like hot peppers, so this is also going to go in this bed as well. Trying to be very careful not to destroy these leaves because I just think they're beautiful. Then we have some eggplant, which is also going in this bed, but over here. I am going to be sure to space them out maybe about 6 inches away from each other. My beds aren't that big, but I do want to get a large production, and if you saw my first year of doing it, I did really well, so I'm just going to see how it goes. And then we have some celebrity tomatoes, which is going in this bed here. We have some grape tomatoes, which is also going to go into this bed. Then we have some beefsteak, which is also going to go into this bed. Again, making sure to space them out at least 6 inches. Then last but not least, we have some Swiss chard. I'm not sure where I'm going to plant this Swiss chard. I may put it into this bucket here. I may not. I may do the lettuce actually in this bucket and then do the Swiss chard in this bucket. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So that's what I'm going to be planting this year. Also, I'm going to be doing some local peppers, like fan favorite. I'm actually going to be germinating those in paper towel, the seeds, because I can't seem to find them till later on in the year, and I kind of want to start that process. Over here, I did watermelon last year. This year, I'm not going to grow any vegetables on the side. It's going to be just simply flowers and ornamental. So here, I bought some ivy. As you can see, my back fence has some ivy growing on it. Well, that's poison ivy. I want to cover it up. I don't like it. It's ugly. I get a really bad allergic reaction to it, so I've been trying everything I possibly can. I bought this ivy, but this ivy covers the ground, and as beautiful as that may seem, I want something that's going to climb up. So this is a English ivy Thorndale, and it is a climbing ivy. What it will do is it will cover the area on the ground, but it will also climb up the fence. This is the kind of ivy that you actually see climbing up brick buildings. You see them literally covering sheds. This is the ivy that I wanted. I'm going to plant that right here. This is an asylum, something like along that line of a flower. The reason why I bought these flowers is because they're a low growing flower. I don't want something that's going to grow all crazy, like a low growing flower, and it's going to literally cover this whole area, and it's going to alternate between purple and white. And I grew it along here so it will like spread. Then I'm going to put an English ivy on each end of here, so that way we can get some growing here. I do have ivy down here. This is a low ivy that just gonna cover the ground. Then I have another different kind of ivy plant that's gonna grow as well, but this has flowers in it, so it's gonna make it look pretty back here. Hopefully, it takes a while, a few years before you kind of get to see the ivy growing out, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I can get this poison ivy covered up, because unfortunately it's on the other side of the fence, somebody else's property. I wouldn't want somebody coming into my property and pulling something out, so I'm not going to do that to them. I prefer people to stay out of my property, so I'm going to do the same for them. This is a Sylvia that I grew last year. I didn't read the tag, but I guess it's an annual and it's growing back. What I'm going to do is to buy some topsoil and put it over here to help that out. Over here, my raised bed for my dad that I built, I added some moss to it. So he liked the look of the moss. He was a landscaper, so I'm sure he's loving the fact that I'm getting so into this. So I planted that here, and then we have the flowers growing in the back, and I also put some of that ivy with the flowers here as well. They say it's a climbing ivy, but I doubt it is, so we'll see. On the side of my house, I put the soil down, and I threw those same seeds, the asylums, down on here. And then it's raining right now, so I do need to start transplanting soon. And then I got them in here with a nice little light. And then I have some white sage growing and some rosemary. In both things. It's a spiritual thing that my sister told me about on cleaning up the entryway for positive energy. So I planted that, and in each raised bed there's clear quartz, also more positive energy. My sister and my dad both shared a love for that, and so I wanted to honor my dad even more in my garden because he really loved the landscaping. Over here you can see there's some brick here. I'm actually going to move this all out to over there and just let it do like a tunneling effect. I threw some lavender back there, and I'll get some wildflowers and throw that back there, because despite the fact that I do not want a shed in my backyard, because I'm the one that does all the landscaping work and cleaning up with the leaves and stuff, my husband really wants one. So I was gonna do a larger raised bed over here for just flowers, but he said he's eventually going to tear it up, and I don't want to put all that work into it if he's just going to tear it up. So I'm going to take all this and put it on this side over here. Put it right here, and I'm going to do green beans here. I have my bamboo stakes that I used last year in here. Well, I'm just going to do this with it. I'm just going to bring it here. I'm going to get some twine, and I'm just going to twine it up here and have them grow up here. I didn't like the triangle effect that I did last year because not everything got enough sun. I'm going to do it this way and do one plane, and hopefully I can get a larger production. And I'll be germinating those seeds as well inside. There's not much sun, so I won't be germinating any seeds in paper towels till we get a more sunnier look. So that's what's going on in the garden now. I'm going to start transplanting these beautiful vegetables that I got on plants that I got at my local garden center. I'm going to get those transplanted in because it's starting to rain. Not the ideal weather to do transplanting, but I wanted to get it in there. Full moon was Wednesday, and I'm already 2 days after, and I really want to get this stuff started so that I can start it. Also wanted to let you know that I decided to go back to horse manure. That's what I used my first year, and it's already in my compost tumbler. And I will keep you guys all posted on what goes on in my yard, front and back, because there's going to be some great things going on. Thank you.